Hey there, Dr. Luke here. We're going to do a shoulder extension and some abduction functional range conditioning class. At the start, I'm going to go through technique, through the different PAILs and RAILs bases. If you know the technique, just fast forward to the start of the class. So let's go. Okay, let's talk about CARs, controlled articular rotations. We want these movements to be slow and controlled, very deliberate and slow and smooth movements. We want it to be within the pain-free range. No sharpness or pinching within these ranges. And we want to irradiate body tension. The intensity will change depending on what you're trying to achieve, but generally about 30%. We're really trying to work out what range of motion and workspace that you have and what space you have ownership over. So let's demonstrate CARs. Okay, shoulder CARs, let's breathe in and irradiate. Start off in external rotation where we have the palm facing out like this. Breathe in and irradiate, coming across the body. Keeping the elbow nice and straight. Come up into full flexion as far as you can. Once we feel a roadblock there, then we want to internally rotate. Continue to internally rotate and fight for internal rotation while you're trying to make the biggest circle possible. Keep going, extending back and back to your side. Your palm should be facing out. We want to now extend. Now we find a roadblock there. Now what we want to do is externally rotate. Continue to externally rotate, creating the biggest circle possible. What ownership do you have of that workspace in that pain-free range? Coming back into this position here. So let's go to the side position. I'm going to now externally rotate. We're going to come across the body. Coming up into flexion, we'll find a roadblock here. Now we want to internally rotate. Continue the internal rotate. Fighting for that internal rotation. Coming back, nice. And to your side, palm facing out. Externally, we want to extend. Now externally rotate once we find that roadblock. Continue to externally rotate. Find the working space that you have, coming down and forward across the body and into this position here. So what we want to do is making sure that as we come up, we're not extending our spine, we're keeping the elbow nice and straight. As we're coming back, we're not rolling the shoulders. And also when we come around here, we're not rotating the spine. So we only want the working joint to be moving. This is very important. So that's how you do a shoulder CARs. So extension base on a yoga mat, yoga blocks, bringing your hands back, sit bones come forward or back, depending on where you want to get the stretch and where you can find the line of tension. I like the elbows slightly bent so that we're not putting any stress on our elbows, and then coming back and then extending and opening up the chest to get our stretch in extension there. Now our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing down into the blocks. Our RAILs contraction is trying to lift our hands off the blocks, making them lighter off the blocks. Obviously they're isometric contractions, so we're not actually lifting off the blocks, but we're trying to make our hands lighter. So that's an extension base for PAILs and RAILs. Okay, another extension base. We bring our blocks by our side here, one on each side, and then we lay face down. We form a fist, and then we get into our extension base here. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing our fists into the blocks like we're doing a push-up, but obviously we're doing an isometric contraction.
Our rails contraction is trying to make our fists lighter off the blocks. And that's our base. Okay, another extension base. We need 6 blocks for this. We bring the blocks on either side of our yoga mat. We come down, place our forearms on our blocks, and then we rest and get into a good stretch there. Finding the best line of tension, you may have to come up or back depending on where the line of tension is for you. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing down into the blocks. Our rails contraction is going to make our forearms lighter off the blocks. So that's our extension base using these yoga blocks. Okay, shoulder cars, breathing in and irradiating. Starting off in external rotation there, breathing in and irradiate, coming across the body and up into flexion, finding the best possible range that we can, creating a circle, the best possible circle, fighting for internal rotation here, coming back. Palms should be facing outwards towards the wall. We extend back again, find our roadblock. Now we externally rotate, finding our best possible range. What range of motion do we have ownership of? Good, making sure that we're not compensating, that we're keeping the elbow nice and straight. Searching for the best possible range that we have active control over and ownership of. Great, that's 2. Three, and last one for this side. Finding our best possible range, slow and controlled, pain-free range. That's the last set, breathing in and irradiate, other side. Sometimes you just close your eyes in this one and just really slowly search out that best possible range. Don't have to be fast for this one, really slow and controlled. Making sure that you have the internal and external rotation parts of this CARS down pat, that you understand what you need to be doing throughout the CARS routine. Slow and controlled. And we want to do 4 controlled articular rotations on each side. Good, last one. Forward and up in external rotation, find that roadblock. Internally rotate, fight for internally rotation. Only moving that shoulder joint, no compensations. And back down into that neutral position. Great, now we need our yoga blocks, 3 on each side. Find the best position so that you can lay face down. forearms on your blocks, searching for your line of tension. We're going to do a 2-minute stretch. Putting our timer on. And let's start our 2 minutes. Just breathing in and out. Breath out's going to be twice as long as our breath in to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, which is more of rest and digest. Because when we are in these stretches, it is a little bit sympathetic, a little bit fight or flight. So we want to calm our body down by using our breaths. While we're here in this stretch, just relaxing, let's go through our PAILs and RAILs. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing our forearms down into the blocks, like we're kind of doing a push-up, but we're not moving at all. This is an isometric contraction. This contraction is going to be best effort, but a safe contraction. It's 15 seconds, our PAILs contraction. And our intensity is going to be best effort. If you are injured or don't feel strong in these positions, you want to decrease the intensity. Usually an injury is only 5 to 30% of intensity there. So let everything go. We've got another 30 seconds. And PAILs, we're going to be pushing down into the blocks, building it up to best effort. Keep going, keep going. Best effort now, really pushing hard. 3, 2, 1, opposite contraction. Trying to lift your forearms off the blocks, making them lighter off the blocks. Keep going, keep going. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Recovery mode, going into the stretch again. This is a 45-second recovery. It's important that we have no pain when we're doing this contraction, that we feel it's a safe and strong contraction there. When I say no pain, no sharpness, you're certainly going to get a little bit of stretching pain. Okay, PAILs contraction again, 3, 2, 1, and contract. Pushing down into the blocks, building up to best effort. Keep going, keep going. 3, 2, 1, opposite contraction. Make your arms lighter off the blocks. Keep going, squeeze those scapulars together. Best effort here, we need to really push hard. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Recovery mode again, 45 seconds. Our intensity needs to be high intensity to get the most out of our mobility work, to really stimulate the tissues to get an adaptation and to make progress. So really important, that intensity. Okay, that's 45 seconds. We're just coming off and out of our base here, lifting the blocks off. Now we want to do our lift-offs. So we're going to bring our forehead down onto the yoga mat, and we're going to lift off and back down. Lifting up and back down. Lifting our forearms off the blocks and back down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Hold, keep holding. 15 seconds here. Keep holding. Keep holding. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Now slowly getting out of this base. You should feel that you've done a deep stretch there and just moving your shoulders around and recovering. Okay. Now we need to do our capsular cards to stimulate the joint capsule and receptors around the joint capsule. So what we want to do is internally rotate and externally rotate. Internally rotate. We want to do 10 reps. That's 5. Let's bring our arms into 90 degrees. Do it a little bit differently. And last rep, 5. Okay, shoulder cars, breathe in and irradiate. 4 reps on each side. Searching for that new range of motion that we've just worked on. Slow and controlled, like just closing your eyes and just exploring what space do I have ownership of. That's what we're asking the body here. We're also giving the information to our nervous system to say, hey, we have ownership of this space, and that helps our nervous system to recognize, have that spatial awareness, and to maintain the range of motion that we do have. So that's 2. We're coming down into our 3rd rep here. And last rep for our right shoulder. Good, let's go to the other side now. Breathing in and irradiate. Coming up into flexion. Internally rotate. And fight for that internal rotation. Extending, externally rotating. Slow and controlled. Do you feel any difference when we first did our cars to now? Are you getting more range of motion there? Can you explore different ranges? We're asking our body, what motion do you have ownership of and control over? It's no use having movement if you can't control through that active range or through your full range of motion. Another 2 reps here. And last rep. Externally rotate, coming across the body, up into flexion. Find that roadblock. Keep that elbow nice and straight. Internally rotate. Fight for internal rotation. Find the biggest circle possible. down to your side, extending up, externally rotating. Fight for that external rotation into that flexion, coming down across the body. Great, well done. And this is a shoulder extension and abduction base, so give it a go.